Oh.
You have to turn that one on. What? Welcome in, everybody, for the second match of today's 2022 Under-18 Four Nations Tournament. This match is between the Ireland women and the Scotland women. I'm Atticus P. Thank you for joining us. We are live here from Cardiff, Wales today on the BBL Player. Joining me for this game today, Dylan Cummings on the call for us with the lead play-by-play today. Reese Jones, our analyst for today. Guys, we've just seen a great game before. Scotland dominated by the Ireland men, and now we're about to see the Irish women play the Scottish women. Are we expecting a repeat of that same game that happened before? What are we looking forward to today, Reese?
I think potentially. I think Scotland are going to look to get what they can out of this game. They've, scoreline-wise, things have definitely not gone their way yesterday against England and Wales. So, they're going to, this being their last game, they're going to look to want to walk out of here with something. The Scotland men team still have another game to go, so maybe all of their attention and, they maybe weren't leaving everything on the floor, whereas the women's team here, this being their last game, they're going to look to leave absolutely everything on the floor here today. So I think the Scotland women in particular are going to look to, maybe change the mood going home from the Scotland fan base today with the win today.
Both teams have played 2 games. Both teams have lost 2 games. Dylan, can Scotland pull this one out against Ireland here?
Yeah, well, from a Scottish perspective, I would hope so, yes. And hopefully the women can certainly finish more often in the paint compared to the men. So.
Definitely so. Let's go through the starting lineups for our squads today. Starting lineups and the full rosters. First of all, let's go through the Scottish squad. Dylan, take us away.
Okay, so your Scotland under-18 women, their head coaches are Duncan Jarvie and Rachel Simpson. And number 28, Niamh Mitchell. Number 37, Sophie Cram. Number 38, Kerry McGee. Number 39, Jenny Torrance. Number 40, Emma Kerr. Number 41, Emily Dagger. Number 44, Sally Campbell. Number 45, Darcy Dewar. Number 66, Leah Turvitt Stark. Number 71, Sophia Amos. number 78, Eva Loftus, and number 82, Lucy Rafferty.
Out on the Irish side, we have Maria Keeley, guard at number 4, Caitlin Glockner, number 5, Sarah Hickey, number 6, number 7 is Tara Nevin, number 8, Bree Shelley, number 9, Emily O'Dwyer, 10 is Rachel Callery, 11, Lucy DeVoy, 12, Amy Duggan, 13, Lucy Coogan, 14, Neve Tolan, 15, Neve Sherlock, 16 is Micaiah Fubara, who's not playing today because of injury, 17, Rebecca Sexton, 18, Erica Egan, and number 21, Neve O'Leary with head coach Tommy O'Mahony. And now we'll go to the court audio for the national anthems. So national anthems are both out and underway, and we're now about 3 minutes away from the opening tip-off as both teams will high-five each other before the start of this game. So for both teams, guys, both teams have played twice. They both lost twice. We're both looking to see who can get a final victory ahead of this end of the tournament for both of these teams. As you can see here, Ireland, well, they had really impressive games yesterday. They lost 67-61 against the Welsh women, and then they lost 65-80 to the England women. That last game is a little bit, that's not really what happened in that game. England was close. That game was close the entire way, and then England just pulled away out at the end. So I think we're looking for Ireland to keep this one close, and Scotland as well. If they're going to stay in this game, they need to be able to contend with how well Ireland has played down in the paint so far throughout this tournament, guys.
Definitely, and I think just eyeballing it, you know, the size is maybe not going to be as much of a factor as it was in the men's meeting between these two countries earlier today. But you know, I think Scotland is mainly just going to want to have a competitive game. Both of their two previous games, in terms of the scorelines, were a bit of blowouts. Ireland had much closer results, but as you mentioned, both of them losses and both teams winless throughout this tournament today. So I think Scotland and Ireland both just want a really competitive game today. In terms of a prediction pre-game, I think Ireland are going to walk away with this one and carry on the momentum that the men's team had in the game previously played. But yeah, I'm really excited to see some action here today.
Now, Dylan, I know you've commentated both games for the Scotland women so far. First game against England, 42 turnovers. Second game against Wales, 26 turnovers. That's insanely high. That needs to stop. How does that stop today? What do you need to do if you're the Scotland women to pull out this win?
Well, yeah, they just need to take care of the ball.
Very well said.
It's that simple sometimes.
Yeah, you can't disagree with that sentiment. 68 turnovers in 2 games is brutal, and that needs to change here for the Scotland women if they want to win this game. 1 minute away from tip-off, both teams will head to the bench for their final coaches' talk before the start of the game. Dylan, who do we have for the starting 5 for Scotland today?
Okay, so for Scotland, we've got 39, the captain, Torrance, 44, Campbell, 66, Turvitt Stark, 71, Amos, and 78, Loftus.
Out on the Irish side, they're using a similar lineup as what they've had throughout the last game at least. Number 4, Mariah Keeley at the point guard. Number 6, Sarah Hickey is the captain next to her. Number 9, Emily O'Dwyer with her. Lucy Devoy next to them, and Niamh Tolan down at the center position down low. Reese, one thing we've seen Ireland do... There we go. I'm fixing out that mic a little bit. One thing we've seen Ireland do well throughout these past couple of games, they've really scored points inside the paint. They had 42 points in the paint against England, and they had 32 points in the paint against Wales. Should that continue here today? Are they going to look for the exact same thing here?
I think so. I mean, why fix what isn't broken? You know what I mean? And against arguably tougher opposition, if that's been the game plan and that's what's been successful, I mean, not necessarily successful in terms of results, but successful in getting some points on the board. I mean, why not continue that sentiment against Scotland? But with that being said, maybe if they see Scotland as potentially weaker opposition to what they faced previously in the yesterday, in the 2 games they lost yesterday, maybe they're going to try to go maybe a different approach and try to work on some outside shooting a bit more. But I think definitely the play inside the points in the paint is definitely going to be a huge factor for Ireland.
Keep your eye on Sarah Hickey for the Ireland squad. 28 points yesterday, 11 of 21 shooting from 2. Just a dominant game. We're just about ready for tip-off. Dylan Cummings with the play-by-play call. Take us away, Dylan.
Okay, so Campbell and Hickey in for the tip.
Referee's looking over at us to make sure I don't unnecessarily harass them with their bad calls today, I'm sure. They all laugh and smile. I know. That's on me, guys.
Love it.
Waiting for the opening tip here. I think we've got to get some tape on one of the players' fingers.
I did mention in the game previous, very impressed with the officiating. We've got a whole new crew on this one. I don't see why things would change.
Oh, no. So we got equipment checks before we get to the opening tip here. 40 minutes of basketball to come, and we're just about ready to get underway. Sarah Hickey here up against the Scottish squad.
Scotland come away with the ball. It's Campbell to Loftus. And Hickey grabs the rebound. Oh. I believe an offensive foul called on Ireland. Scotland get the ball back.
Actually, travel, both teams trying to go quickly here. I'm really impressed with the speed we see so far.
Amos will inbound. Gets it to Torrance. Torrance is short there.
It's been some pretty wild shooting from Scotland so far.
0 for 4 from the rim for both teams, I guess.
Keeley. Side to Hickey.
And an absolutely fantastic opening call from the referee there to start this game off.
Oh, man, it's already started.
Foul is on Campbell. Ireland inbound from the end line. Keeley. And first points of the game go to Devoy.
Lucy Devoy had a lot of that yesterday. Lots of backdoor cuts off of extra passes. She can do a lot of that more today.
Scotland need to stop rushing their offensive play so far. They're just throwing the ball away and throwing up some extremely wild rush shots.
And Hickey inside. Great finish from her. Hervitz. Oh, not sure who the pass was going to there.
And the start of this game has followed a similar trend to that of the men's game that was just previously played. Ireland women so far showing a bit more composure going to the rim, whereas Scotland rushing things and maybe not having as much of a core identity in their offensive play. But it is still early.
Well, I loved what Tony Azono said after that last game in the interview. He said, look, I couldn't sleep last night because of those 2 losses. I was so ready to go for the 3rd game so we could get a win. You can see that here. The Irish women might do the same thing.
Stuff champions are made of, that.
Tolan. And Tolan with a finish.
Didn't see much of that from Tolan over the past couple of games. She only played the last game, scored 7 points, but 3 of 9 shooting. She'll be looking for more of that here on the inside.
Torrance tries to get it to Campbell. Again, very rushed on the offense there. And O'Dwyer with the finish there. And they come out, Ireland come away with it again.
Well, you got to call
that was devoid.
now.
Got to call a timeout there. I mean, that is about as poor a start from the Scotland women's team as it could possibly be there.
Yeah, not the best of starts, to be honest.
Well, you're down by 10, and that was bad. Let's put it that way. That was not very good. Ireland have shown up for this
Scotland have just been getting roasted all morning by you two. Jesus, it's like being alongside English people.
Oh, man, well, I promise I'm American. That's not the case. But I think the big problem for Scotland here, where's the energy today? I understand this game's early. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. But you've just seen the men's team play before. We had the same problem there. There just wasn't any energy in it. And Ireland right now are the only ones who are running down the court with lots of energy, focus, determination. You can hear it. They're shouting, they're yelling, they're excited about everything. I haven't heard anything from Scotland all game. It's quiet over there.
No, and it's in the first game I mentioned the trope that Ireland just wanted it more, and again I don't like overusing kind of those tired little sayings, but this opening 2 or 3 minutes so far that we've seen from Ireland, it is proven it's kind of the case between the entire country. But it's an easy fix. It's just an injection of energy, I think, from Scotland that they need. It's not necessarily. Obviously, it's extremely early. There's loads of time to come back, and they just need. We know that they've got the quality. This is an international level of basketball.
Ireland with an interception, great.
The energy.
So much for that reason. Ireland's got a bit more energy.
From Tolan there, off the great interception.
Well,
and Scotland just seem to be flustered by Ireland at the minute.
that pass didn't go to anybody, but it almost hit the cameraman down there in the corner. So
yeah,
that's decent, I guess.
Poor Ralston. And Keeley. And Hickey inside. Can't quite get the finish. He's heavily defended. And McGee comes away from Scotland. Ireland with another interception. It's Hickey on the fast break for the layup, and she gets it.
It's Reese. It's hard not to celebrate right now because this is so much fun to watch from Ireland. They're just dominating right now.
Loftus. Jewett can't quite get the drop. And Ireland again, very fast pace. O'Dwyer. Hickey can't get that one to drop that time.
Honestly, that seems like the only way Ireland can be stopped right now, by fouls or by turnovers of their own making. Scotland just haven't done anything to stop them at all.
Yeah, foul was on Keeley there. And Loftus will inbound from the sideline.
It's a 14-point lead 3 minutes into the game. Something needs to change like right now.
They're digging themselves a bit too deep a hole, I think, if it continues this way.
Yeah, again, really impressive start for Ireland. Keeley.
Oh, wow.
Blocked by Loftus. O'Dwyer keeps the ball in play. Devoy. Oh.
So finally a good stop from Scotland. We finally see something change for them defensively over 3.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the first thing I was able to celebrate from a Scotland perspective was that absolute stuff on that previous possession. But I think they're struggling to get the ball in the offensive half.
I love how Ireland have sent 4 players into the front court, 3 in the actual front court, 1 at the halfway line. They're not letting Scotland go anywhere right now.
Loftus inbounds to Calvert Stark. And she's heavily defended by Keeley. Ireland with another interception. Long pass. Oh.
Wow.
And a foul. And it'll be Tolan to go to the line.
And it's simply just some great energy from Ireland on offense so far. They're moving the ball extremely quickly, too fast for Scotland to keep up on the defensive end of the ball, and you know, not as clean and not as composed a finish as potentially head coach would have wanted to see there. But you know, they go to the line, potentially extend their lead, and Scotland just need to focus on getting some points on the board.
But you know what I like from Ireland?
Definitely.
You got 10 points on the board who are not from, those points are not from Sarah Hickey. Hickey yesterday scored, you know, tons of points in the game that she played, 28 against England, but nobody else really got on the score sheet a whole lot. Right now, Tolan missed those 2 free throws, but they're getting on the board anyway.
Devoy. Oh, and it's Dewar picks it up, gets it to McGee. Calvert Stark. And Amos gets the drop.
There we go. Points on the board.
Keeley. Oh, blocked by. Well, I thought it was a block, but I believe it'll be a foul on shooting foul on Loftus.
It's actually the second block of the game for Scotland. So good blocks from them so far. I mean, they don't have a lot of size. They're defending the paint relatively well. I mean, they've given a lot of points, but 2 blocks.
It will not be a shooting foul. My mistake, but Ireland get the ball back, and they grab this second chance rebound. O'Dwyer can't get that one to drop. McGee, oh.
I like that aggression from Maria Keeley that you see there. She had that yesterday throughout both the games Ireland played. She didn't play in the first one, but in the second game that she played, only 4 points, but 34 minutes of action. She was a big presence defensively out in the perimeter. If Ireland are going to keep Scotland off the score sheet like this, they need her to continue to keep strong defense out on that 3-point arc.
You see Emily O'Dwyer check out of the game there. She looked like she had a fire lit under her there, and then in those opening 4 minutes on the defensive end of the ball, she was a huge part of the energy that Ireland had.
Great defense from Ireland yet again. Hickey inside, and Calvert Stark scrambles for the ball.
Yes. So Scotland, I mean, you got to make as many subs as you can right now. Just try to get anything of energy back on the floor. That's what they're trying to do, it looks like. Just get anyone else involved who can.
Hickey just short there. And there'll be Loftus who scrambles for the ball. It'll be Scotland possession.
The referee's there in perfect sync on that jump ball call.
We've seen a bit of Iofi Loftus this year, Reese, haven't we? She plays for the Caledonia Pride. We saw her in the game against Cardiff Met a couple months ago. Pretty good player. Youth player for them, of course. Not getting a ton of time right now, but a good player off the Pride bench, and will be one for the future.
Definitely. I mean, the Pride had a very, very rough start to their season in the WBBL, but by the time that they came here to the Arches Arena, they were on an absolutely massive winning streak, and everybody on that roster, including herself, she showed a lot of composure for such a young age, and I was really, really impressed. I was excited to see her play today.
Yeah, 3 Caledonia Pride players in this Scotland under-18 women's squad. Jenny Torrance, Eva Loftus and Sophia Amis.
That's just too easy for Ireland. You're going to have that shot with Sarah Hickey all game long.
Yeah, she's been so impressive in this game so far. Loftus comes away with it. Torrance. Dagger. Dagger from the corner. Nothing there. And Keeley grabs it. And another transition from Ireland. And
oh, goodness me.
It will be Hickey that will go to the line for 2.
Well, she didn't get the and one to go with it, but way to go up
almost
strong there. Yeah, not only was it close, but every time that Ireland are attacking the paint, you can see it right there. They're not just going up and trying to just lay the shot in and then let it go. They're trying to go up hard, so Scotland either has to foul them and risk a three-point play happening or just let them go. There aren't many options right now if you're Scotland defensively. They just cannot keep Ireland out of the paint. You've seen that so far quite a bit. And Ireland already with 16 points in the paint. If you've noticed, that's how many points they've scored. So everything's coming in the paint right now for them.
Oh, Atticus the Prophet calling that out before the game.
Well, there's one not in the paint. There you go.
There you go.
Nails the first.
Hickey's already on 7 points and 4 rebounds and 2 steals. Triple-double time?
On steals, that would be extremely impressive to get a triple-double with steals.
2 from the line. And Campbell inside, and she finishes strong, using her height to her advantage. Oh. Keeley, long 2, doesn't go. And Ireland get another offense, and Hickey sinks it.
21-4. Man, Ireland on top by 17. It's too easy right now.
There was no pressure on that 3. She had nobody within 10 feet of her when she took that shot. And, you know, I guess impressive as it was that Scotland managed to put the ball in the basket on that previous possession, you know, they let Ireland go the other way within 5 seconds, and they were right under the basket. And, you know, that's what can't be happening. If you've got any hope of clawing your way back into this game, you need to score and you need to get stops. And if you score and you don't manage to get any stops, then it's just going to keep getting worse.
Hickey gets the layup. Too easy for her.
13 points for Sarah Hickey already. I'm going to go out on a limb and say she could get 35 or more if she wants.
Definitely. But we saw this in the previous game, in the men's game that was just played between Ireland and Scotland, and we saw it with Wosis, and he had 22 points within 11, 12 minutes played, and then got a little bit cold towards the end of the game, and didn't play a whole lot of the rest of the game. So maybe we'll see the similar thing today.
Would you say it's perhaps fatigue setting in for Scotland, tournament fatigue?
I mean, Ireland have played the same amount of games, and I've had a similar amount of rotation, so I think it's just been a real, potentially fatigue, but in terms of the difference in energy, but I think Ireland just brought it today. So far, anyway.
Definitely so. A Scotland kickball there, still Ireland basketball. I mean, they've had so many looks. They've had 20 shots. Scotland have only had 8. That's crazy. That can't continue throughout the whole game, of course. Scotland are going to have a chance to come back here, but they have to get those chances started now if they're going to stop the bleeding.
And Keeley inside. And Rafferty inbounds for Scotland to Tarvit Stark.
Love this front court pressure. Scotland are under heavy pressure and just have no time to set up a play.
Oh, goodness me.
Neven draws the foul. Foul was on Cram.
So Tara Nevin only played in the first game, played 10 minutes in the first game for Ireland, but no points so far. We're going to see the first here, guys, I promise.
What are you doing, Atticus? What's going on?
This is going to happen. So, look, this first one's going to go in.
Commentators.
And end of story, period.
Look,
End of sentence.
Not impressive. She's from the Dublin Lions, played in the Under-18 National Cup and scored 10 points in their semifinal loss to the Liffey Celtics. But look, she can score points. We know that. And I don't know why I said that right now.
Atticus, we've learned, after months of commentating this arena, we've got a curse whenever we speak on free throws in particular.
Dagger just unable to get the finish. And Egan turns over the ball. It'll be Scotland ball. Dagger inbounds. Campbell. Rafferty. Rafferty with a drive. And Cramp. Interception from Cramp. Scotland get another chance. Hervit Stark. Rafferty. Under a lot of pressure and
Wow.
yeah, great defense from Ireland.
Those are the ones you never know whether to call it a block or a steal. Because she just rips it.
They both work.
They just rips it out of the hands.
And Dagger with the assist from Hervit Stark.
And a big reception from the Scotland Crown there, and some points going on the board. And Ireland throw it away on the other end. Probably the first positive back and forth play there from Scotland. They put points on the board and forced the stop on the other one.
We're finally forcing turnovers. Ireland, that's just their 5th turnover of the game. Obviously, 5 turnovers, not great, but they've had 3 turnovers those past 3 possessions. Scotland have had 14 turnovers so far. That's way too high, of course. And so if they can clamp that down and keep forcing those Ireland bad passes on this sprint that the Ireland are trying to do offensively, you've got a chance.
And I think it's very heavily due to the full court press that Ireland are putting on Scotland right now. They really struggle about a third of the time to even get out of their own court, or half.
Hickey again inside.
Oh, she wanted the foul. You can see it.
Hervit Stark. Rafferty.
Oh!
Can't get it. Keeley with the rebound.
Well, it was fine after the 3rd bounce. I thought it was going to drop eventually, but no.
Even. Hickey. And Rafferty.
Oh, goodness me.
Nice catch, Reese. What a play.
Thank you, sir.
Athletes behind the table.
Oh, athletes behind the table is the call. I love it. That's for Reese because he always catches those.
Thank you, referee. Appreciate it. Just a retired baller. Me.
Dude, you're 23 years old. How old are you?
22.
22. Dylan, how old are you?
24.
See, look at that. We're all young here.
I'm active. Hands at the ready, always.
Retired early, whatever.
Put me in, coach. I'll get one layup in.
Miscommunication on the pass from Ireland there.
Still Ireland up by 19, 25 seconds left. This is a great first quarter.
For Ireland.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, congrats.
Hervit Stark, Rafferty.
$13 seconds left. You got time to run any play you want.
Great offensive board, though. Extend the play.
Keeley's calling out her three-pointer. You can see her doing it. It didn't come off, but that was a good shot. I like what opportunity she had there. So at the end of the first, 25-6, Ireland on top by 19. Scotland really struggling right now. Three players have scored for Ireland, or for Scotland rather, but just 2 points each. And for Ireland, 13 points for Sarah Hickey, and they're just running dominant right now.
It's just too simple. It is at the start of the game, it seemed like it was just a fact of energy, and they came out of the block 12 points unanswered.
Yeah.
Ireland did, and ever since then it's just been they've been taking things at their own pace. Still a very fast pace, but they've been taking things at their own pace on the offensive end of the ball, trying to slow things down and craft some higher percentage shooting opportunities, and that's led to them scoring 25 points on that Scotland defense in the first quarter.
Let me ask you guys a question. You guys ever baked cookies before? I can see everybody laughing. Nobody's ever baked cookies.
I've absolutely baked cookies.
Dylan, you have.
No, you can't bake No, you can't bake a cookie. Like, are you thinking of a cookie in the American sense or the British
What's
sense?
a British cookie?
British cookies. I'm working out the lingo here. But cookies are generally you make them with flour and sugar and all that kind of thing. You put them in the oven, they make cookies, right?
Like chocolates or
Chocolates
cookies.
or cookies.
Yeah.
There you go. Oatmeal cookies, what have you. A bit of a strange thing to mention, but I bring that up because I made cookies once for my sister years ago, and I made her sick because I accidentally at the very start put in a cup of baking powder instead of like a teaspoon. So, a cup's massive, obviously. You don't put in that much. But it ruined the rest of the cookies, even though I followed the recipe throughout, and I just messed up the one baking powder part. It screwed up the rest of it. And I say that because for Scotland, you're down by 19 in the first quarter. You've effectively messed up the first part of your cooking today, the first part of your cookie. How on earth can you recover a cookie after you put in a cup of baking powder? It's the same kind of thing here. If you're going to come back in this game against Ireland, you've now got to deal with this massive early deficit, these big early mistakes. That's a lot to overcome to make this one work.
Yeah, it is a lot to overcome. I think, they're going to look to Turvitt Stark and Jenny Torrance to maybe put up a few threes, but again, just have to see how the rest of the game goes.
Threes are an easy way if you hit them, but given their shooting so far,
oh man, the roasting just won't stop, will it?
well, I mean, it's simple when you look at the numbers. 0 for 2 from 3, 0% from 3. I don't know if threes are necessarily going to be the answer for them so far. They just need to craft some high percentage plays, get some easy points on the board, maybe not something as difficult as a 3, and just slowly claw your way back. You've got to start with basics. You have to start with energy, and you have to start with the fundamentals.
And I don't mean for that to be something negative for Scotland. I mean, you're down by 19, but this is an under-18 tournament. You've got time to make things work.
Yeah.
This isn't about just winning today. It's about the future and progress here today.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, 100%. And, Scotland have got, a good female pathway, especially with pride in the WBBL. If you look at our senior squad, 3 of the 4 players that qualified for the Commonwealth Games in that 3x3 squad, they all came up through the pride program.
Well, foul there. That one's going to be sending Tara Nevin to the free throw line for 2 more free throw attempts for her. Ireland, though, 2 of 6 from the free throw line right now, 33%. Free throw shooting's not been their forte throughout this tournament. Shot just 61% against England from the free throw line, and then a really bad 32% against Wales from the free throw line. But
I think it's these hard rims in here in the Archers Arena. It seems everybody's been struggling with free throw shooting. Every single player who's played on this court.
I hear hard rims, transparent backboard, all kinds of stuff. Misses keep coming up.
Well, transparent backboard. It's 2022. Most backboards are going to be transparent these days, aren't they?
Great steal again from Lucy Coogan. Just lost the handle, but I like that kind of aggression there from Ireland on the interior. They've got 4 players who are packing that paint all the time. Scotland just can't penetrate it unless it's a dribble drive. There's no other way to get in there.
I know, and that's what makes it difficult with, what I was saying before with, they need to focus on the fundamentals and get the easy baskets up to, claw their way back here. But it's difficult when Ireland are going to force them to take shots from outside that Scotland maybe aren't as comfortable with.
Now Mitchell, Scotland. Amos, inside. Just too hard off the glass there. Ireland come away with it.
Wow.
Nice finish there from...
Coogan's a bruiser down low for
Coogan.
Ireland. I mean, she's had 12.5 rebounds in the past couple of games. She's just unstoppable down low.
Kerr for 3. Doesn't go. Sorry to interrupt you there, Atticus. What were you saying?
Well, I think if Ireland want to keep this advantage up, you can see Lucy Coogan already streaking to the paint. They're going to get the ball to her down and low every time. Another big offensive board for her. She puts it back. Exactly. You're going to see a lot more of that in all these big games for Ireland, today, of course, but in the future as well. She is such a big player down low for them. Big in the sense that she's tall, of course, but big for their offense.
Turvitt Stark. Again, Scotland just can't seem to get these shots to drop one, unfortunately. But that's taken nothing away from Ireland. They've been playing brilliantly so far. Coogan. Hickey.
Ireland just seemed to be just a step quicker than Scotland so far. Scotland just getting to the ball just a half-second too late on all these passes. Ireland, and that's, mainly an applaud to Ireland moving the ball as quickly as they were. That's probably the easiest travel call the referees are going to have all day today. But Ireland just moving the ball so quickly, players off the ball moving so quickly, and with Scotland potentially being fatigued with the 2 games that they've played so far today, I take nothing away from Ireland being so energetic on and off the ball on both ends of the court.
Yeah, and if you just look at it from like a wider perspective, like it's great to see all these home nations get the opportunity to compete against each other. Especially after the last couple of years with the pandemic.
Definitely.
Well, foul there. This is going to be Ireland basketball once again. I'm curious, 2 free throws to come for Tara Nevin once more. She's already had 4 free throws. She'll have 2 more. I'm curious for the thoughts of head coach Tommy O'Mahony right now. He's been very energetic these past few possessions, but what they're doing offensively, you can see him talking to Lucy DeVoy right now behind the referee on the far side. Ireland, of course, have this 25, now 26-point lead, but I love how energetic he's getting on these offensive possessions. He loves the defense, of course, but he's looking for something else offensively than what Ireland are putting out right now. I'm curious what that's about, what he wants to do for the future offensively here, this team.
And I think with the scoreline being what it is, assuming it's going to keep up as the game goes on while Scotland get another block. I think now in this quarter, but especially as the game goes on, if the lead continues to grow, that it's just going to be an opportunity for him to try some things out, get some new combinations on the floor in terms of personnel, and try some different tactics out and see what sticks.
I know Lucy DeVoy missed that shot, but that's a shot you want her taking every day of the week. That's a great mid-range shot, wide open. She's very good from there.
Have it stuck. Amos with the drive. Again, just can't quite get the finish. Good look, though, for Scotland. Even.
Look at how casual that was there. And that was just such an impressive shot from Erica Egan. It's not just the casual nature of that, but Ireland, normally you have to have your best players, your point guard, generate offense for your team, get open looks, get people in space. Every single person in Ireland's team right now is able to create their own shot. That's a problem defensively for Scotland, but for Ireland, you've got to be really impressed here. Everybody can score, and they're all taking advantage of their own space to do it.
And that's the 3rd time we've seen that play, when we've seen the cut from, just about the corner, somewhere between the elbow and the corner of the 3-point arc, and we've seen that cut. So whoever's on the ball, and like you said, it doesn't necessarily need to be the point guard. Whoever's on the ball at the top of the 3-point arc gets finds the person cutting inside, and they get the floater. That's the 3rd time I've seen that in the second quarter. I'd imagine that's been drawn up from the head coach.
Dylan, I don't know what you do for Scotland right now. It seems pretty simple, of course. You've got to score more points, but really your problems are coming defensively. That's what I'd be more worried about. Obviously, you haven't scored, but you've got to stop Ireland from just running into the paint and taking whatever they want from there. Ireland have 24 points in the paint already out of their 34. That's going to continue throughout the rest of the game. You have to start playing a different style of defense. I know that there are certain systems they're trying to keep it, attached to for the national teams, and you don't want to adhere to go too far away from that. But what you have to do is stop them penetrating the paint right now, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, I know I've joked about you guys roasting Scotland, but that's taking nothing away from Ireland. They've played fantastic. They've played a fantastic game so far. So.
Well, I love this Irish defense you see right now. They've run this, of course, throughout the entire game to massive success. A 1-2-1-1 zone as they come out with this full court press here. 4 players in the front court the entire time.
That is just such an aggressive press from Ireland, but I mean, why not? I don't know why they'd run anything different. Scotland did well to break it that time, though.
Tag on. Just rolls in and out the rim.
What Reese said is right. Scotland did well to break that. That's exactly what you need to beat that full court press. That's a great look. Doesn't matter, it didn't go in.
O'Dwyer knocks it down. O'Dwyer, sorry.
What I like about this Irish defense in the front court, they almost get another steal. Actually, they forced a turnover there. What I love about this Irish defense in the front court, normally when you play full court press, you're thinking, okay, we got to get a steal. We're trying to get a steal in those first few seconds. I love that that's not what they're doing. Of course, they're looking for a steal right away, but not off that pass. They're letting Scotland inbound it and then just aggressively pressuring with 2 or 3 players. Scotland have no idea how to handle that. It's a really unique look.
And that's what I mean when I say that, Ireland and head coach is just trying to maybe try some things out and see what works.
Sherlock off the glass.
Look, if Neve Sherlock's going to hit that step-back jumper off the glass, okay, you can't do much about that.
And those are the ones that Scotland are just going to simply have to concede and know that there's not a whole lot you're going to do.
They'll finally go to the free throw line, though. First time at the free throw line today for the Scotland women. Take that. Your only problem, though, if you're the Scotland women team, when you go to the free throw line, they've hit 12 free throws, and they've taken 34. So 33% from the free throw line, roughly, just right around the 30% mark from that free throw line. When we're talking to Coach Tom Guntrip yesterday, I was commentating with me on a couple games. He mentioned, look, in these international tournaments, it's all about trying to get the kind of style you want going. Free throws, you can't do much about free throws. You either come ready with free throws to go, or you don't, and you just have to go back and work on them. And that's, these are young players. That's part of the case. You're going to have to work on your free throws. We've seen that from this tournament. Poor free throw shooting all around. That's not indicative of these players can't shoot. It's just these are young players. They're going to grow and develop better free throw shooting as they go.
Definitely. And I mean, as much as the numbers are potentially a little bit worrying, that's not something that any of these national teams are really going to take away and focus on. I mean, I'm sure you're going to end a training session with some free throws at the end of the day, but it's not going to be a primary focus in terms of your style of play that you're trying to build.
Yeah, definitely not. Ireland going through that bench here today. They're using as many players as they can. Niamh O'Leary coming back onto the floor along with Niamh Tolan. So on the ground, that one's going to be a jump ball. The position arrow points over to Scotland, so they come away with that one. But again, you're about to see this aggressive look from Ireland once again that Scotland have not figured out how to deal with yet.
Oh, McGee under a lot of pressure there. Amos. And another interception from Ireland.
What a way to take that inside.
Incredible
what a basket
finish
from Niamh Tolan.
Surprised that wasn't an and one there.
So Niamh Tolan on 6 points. She's the second leading scorer for the Ireland team behind Hickey with 13.
Another just grab on defense there from Sarah Hickey. It's the second time we've seen her do that today. I'm not sure whether to classify that as a steal or a block because she just rips it out of the hands as the shot's going up.
Well, it's 40-7. You guys think Ireland can break 100?
In terms of math, yes, I think so. In terms of, what Ireland are actually going to try to get out of this game, I don't think the coaching staff is going to be looking to, absolutely demolish Scotland. That's not what they've come here to do today. I mean, they've come here to, get a victory, but also build on multiple things, as that is the loudest slap of contact, the easiest foul call the referees are going to have all day.
It was more like a high five after she let go of the ball. I think it was just that. It was a high five.
Yeah.
Got her on the palm right after.
Yeah, easiest foul call refs are going to have all day today. But, I don't think that's what the Ireland coaching staff is come here to do today, is absolutely blow Scotland out of the water. They're trying to develop players, as we've been saying, develop players and develop a coaching style that, that they can be proud of and that they know is going to be successful going forward in future tournaments.
Well, I like what I've seen with Scotland so far as well, of course. I mean, you're cycling through all the players they've got. There's pretty much everyone on the roster has come on the court right now, and they're trying to find anything they can out of all these players. This is a good learning opportunity for what lineups you have that can work and what you need to do to come back as a team here in a tough game like this.
O'Leary sinks that one. Now Emma Kerr has control for Scotland. Gets it to Campbell. And McGee inside. Can't get that one to drop. Ireland come away with it. And nice defense from Scotland. They get another crack on offense.
It's only the 7th Ireland turnover. They just have kept the ball really well so far in this game. Haven't had to worry about turnovers a whole lot.
Whereas Scotland, on the other hand,
Yeah, that's their 20th turnover. That's not great. 15 steals for Ireland just in the first half alone. That's incredible.
And that full court press, as we mentioned before, that 1-1-2, 1-1-2-1 zone, or 1-2-1-1 zone. Not sure. It depends on what way you look at it. But that zone. Even if they don't win the ball in their front court, it's what it's doing is they're either getting the ball and throwing Scotland off in the back court once Scotland actually break into that half, or they're getting the steal in the front court, or worst case scenario, even if Scotland do end up breaking that press, they're taking precious seconds for Scotland off the shot clock, and usually forcing them to get the stop due to the shot clock violation.
Jewel can't finish off the second chance rebound. Keeley. Voigt. Hickey, oh lovely spin move and what a finish.
That's her 15th point. She's shooting 50% from the field, 6 of 12. She's unstoppable today.
Keeley comes away with it.
That's steal number 16 and counting for Ireland. You are going to see a lot more of those, I think.
Ireland just applying the pressure there. Kerr has control for Scotland on an interception from Hickey. Hickey with a layup. She gets it. Easy money for her.
Now, I joked with you, Atticus, earlier about a triple-double with steals being probably not plausible. You do not see it very much at any level. She's already on 5, though. She's halfway there in terms of steals. It's obviously a long way to go in this game, and we don't know if she's going to continue to get the minutes she's gotten so far. But goodness me, that would be impressive. Already impressive.
Hickey's on 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 steals.
Goodness me.
Tolan. And Devoy inside. Can't quite finish that one. Oh, and
wow. Another one. And another good finish.
Great finish from Tolan there.
Steal number 18 for Ireland. We still got a minute to the halftime, guys. That's a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing over to the Irish side. That's not going to count as a steal, but it's effectively one. And again, they've got 18 steals. We're a minute away from the half. They're more than doubling Scotland's point total just with steals. You don't see that ever. And I think what's so impressive about this from Ireland is all of these players are doing this. You look down the score sheet, and Hickey's got 5 steals, Lucy Devoy with 6, but everyone else, there's 2 steals, 1 steal amongst all these players. Everyone is doing so well at forcing this press on Scotland just as a team. The cohesion you're seeing from the Irish defense right now is incredible. Along with that long pass.
Fantastic pass.
Okay, that was a foul.
Hickey has control. Keeley. Sherlock. Oh, just overshoots that one. Falls into the hands of Dagger. Mitchell. Back to Dagger. Cram with a drive. And she draws the foul. I believe the foul was on Sherlock.
Well, Sophie Cram hasn't scored at all in this tournament. This could be her first point here if she can knock it down. Plays for the Falkirk Fury out in Scotland.
The Scottish name's a little bit easier to pronounce than the Irish ones.
Yeah. I think you agree, don't you, Dylan?
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
I'm working on those. Working on those too. So they only get 1 from that free throw line, but a great offensive rebound there, and they almost get it to go into Iofi Loftus, but she'll go to the free throw line for 2 more for Scotland. And,
Aoife Loftus.
Aoife Loftus, my fault.
Yeah.
Aoife Loftus, that's, take what positives you can if you're Scotland right now. That's good. And I think the more you can get, the more offensive rebounds, the more rebounds you can get as a team, especially in the offensive end, of course, but you need to keep rebounding the ball. You can't be out-rebounded and stay in games. Right now, they're being out-rebounded 37-21. The more rebounds you get, the more positive energy it's going to generate for your team. Those are really important. And I think you're going to have to keep focusing on that here in the second half for Scotland. Try to get more rebounds, try to stay back as a team and collect those.
Loftus thinks both free throws, and Keeley has control for Ireland now.
Another interesting stat for Aoife Loftus. 4 blocks for her so far in this game. Probably the only other positive that Scotland can take is the amount of blocks that they've gotten on defense.
4 seconds left in the first half. Scotland trying to get forward for a shot. Won't be able to. Hickey's going to take the shot from the baseline. And that one rims out from the corner. So 47-10 at halftime. Ireland dominant right now. Scotland managed to get it up to 10 just before the end of the first half. It's hard to imagine Ireland will be anything but pleased as we go into this break, guys.
Definitely. I mean, I'm interested to see what the Ireland coaching staff kind of bring out in terms of maybe personnel switches or tactical switches or system changes in the second half, given the scoreline. But I think Scotland need to take what positives they can from that first half. A few defensive positives in terms of blocks, but in terms of the energy, it's just not the same. Ireland are just on a different level in terms of how much they want to win this game and how much they want to show what they can do on the defensive and offensive side of the ball.
So we're going to have a quick interview here with the Scotland coach. Give us about 30 seconds to get that set up, and we'll be right back with you. So welcome back here. We're here in the interview studio with the head of the Scotland delegation, Darrell Woods. Darrell, obviously this is a tough first half for you guys, but at the end of the first half, some things started to change, some positives with points on the board. But what do you guys think the message is going to be going into the locker room here?
Yeah, I think the key thing is probably around our mentality and where we start. The coaches have got a really good job of some non-negotiables that they want to talk through that have maybe not been happening in the first half. But also we need to do a much better job on how we handle the pressure. For sure, that's why there's such a big gap. So there'll be a little bit of talk there, maybe some tactical changes on how we handle that.
Now, obviously, this game is not about today, of course. This is the end of the tournament for you guys, for the Irish team as well. As you go ahead into the future from here, what positives will you try to take away from the second half? I know you just mentioned the non-negotiables, but what will that mean for these players as they come out?
I think the biggest positive we've got to take is this tournament's back up and running and we're able to face this level of competition. It's not a level they get to see all the time back home. So to come and experience it, then it allows them to see where they sit, and now they get the opportunity to go back home and progress and hopefully work on the things that they've learned from this trip.
Great. Thank you for your time. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
No worries, thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us here for the first half of action. The second half still to come. About 7 minutes of time left before the start of the second half. Right now, Scotland losing to Ireland. Ireland up on top, 47-10 in the lead.
the problem. I'll find it somewhere. It's not a problem.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome in for the start of the second half here between Ireland and Scotland in our Under-18 Four Nations 2022 tournament. I'm Atticus Speed, Reese Jones, and Dylan Cummings joining me here today on the commentary. 47-10, guys. Ireland on top by 37 as we come out of the break. What do we need to see here in the second half from both teams? Reese, start with you.
From Ireland, I'm just, obviously more of the same from their perspective. But, like I said before the break, I think I'm interested to see what changes that they make in terms of what they're trying to build, in terms of a style of play on both ends of the ball. So I'm really interested to see what comes from them. From Scotland, it just needs to be an injection of energy, I think. I just need to see a little bit more. I don't want to say it's a lack of effort because I'm sure these people everybody on the court is trying their absolute best, but there's just a different level on the Irish team on the court. So maybe just Scotland just needs to try to match it to the best of their ability in the second half.
Absolutely. Dylan, take us away with the call.
All right. Ramno gets to Amos. Amos can't get that one to drop. Dubois grabs the rebound. Poland takes it away for Ireland. Hickey with control.
There you go. That's what Scotland are going to be looking for. I mean, it was an Ireland mistake there that forced that stop, but any stop from a Scottish perspective is a positive that they can take.
Stark now with control for Scotland. Turvitt Stark. Campbell gets a second chance and she puts it in.
Really good finish. Does well to get in the paint. I like what I saw there.
Yeah, great awareness there from Campbell.
It's just too easy for Sarah Hickey down low. That's her fifth offensive rebound. That leads everybody on the court here today. 7 rebounds for her, 19 points, and 7 steals. She's a few steals and blocks away from that, rebounds away from that triple-double.
Oh,
here's another steal. Oh,
no.
Uh-oh.
That would be ridiculous.
Hickey gets the layup.
Uh-oh. 21 points for her, 7 rebounds, 8 steals, guys. It's going to happen.
Oh my goodness! I really didn't think when you said that earlier. I was like, "There's no way steals are going to be in a triple double." But
Campbell
it's
inside again. Oh, just can't get the drop there. Sorry to interrupt you guys. What were you saying?
No problem. It's just an unbelievable individual performance from Sarah Hickey. But again, I don't want to take anything away from the team performance as Sarah Hickey just misses the 2 there. It's a real collective effort on both ends of the floor. They're moving the ball as a team so well. On the defensive side of the ball, they're just moving and communicating as a team so well. They've all got the energy. But in terms of offensive output, it's been Sarah Hickey that's just been a one-player show, really. It's unbelievable.
Well, Ireland have 22 steals, 8 of them from Hickey. That's a lot, of course, but 22 steals as a team. Like you said, Reese, great team effort.
Devoy can't quite get the finish there. Turvitt Stark. Inside. Unable to convert.
That shot's just too rushed there from Scotland, I think. I don't know. I think they need to put up whatever shots they can, I suppose, but it's too rushed, and they've got a bit more time on the shot clock. They need to try to, move the Ireland defense around a bit more with some more movement off the ball and getting the ball off their hands a bit quicker. They need a bit more hot potato ball. You know what I mean?
Good. I like that. Definitely so. I love this Ireland look. Players in every single part of the court, and they're all going to switch here in the middle. I mean, Scotland just can't handle everything that Ireland have on these inbound plays. They just have so many options around the whole court. It's been like that the whole game. Everybody can do something great for Ireland on the court.
Great finish there from Keeley.
Another big board there.
Ireland come away with it again. This time it's Devoy. Devoy gets the shot to drop.
Devoy's got 6, but Ireland have 40 points in the paint. And I mean, they scored 55. Almost everything just coming down low.
And I mean, with that being, if you were able to spot that, Atticus, before this game, that was an area that Ireland were going to attack, surely the Scotland coaching staff, should have been able to spot that themselves. And, I think that the defense that they played should have been built around that. They should have been, congesting the inside of the paint and forcing Ireland to take shots from the outside. But Ireland are just doing whatever they want on both ends of the ball right now.
It does seem to be a bit of a talent gap, doesn't it, Reese? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like Scotland are trying to figure out how to compete with this different, more physical and aggressive Irish squad. You're just trying to figure out how to stay with somebody, a team that's like this. And this is a really good learning experience. Again, this is a really hard team to go against. This is only going to be beneficial for Scotland.
Definitely.
Great finish there for O'Leary.
And I think a goal for Scotland for the rest of this game is to try to score double digits in a quarter. In the first quarter, they only managed to put up 6. Second quarter, only managed 4. So far in this third quarter, they've got 2. I think that they need to try to keep Ireland under 20 points, and they need to score double digits.
Hopefully Sarah Hickey's okay once again. Getting up slowly. She doesn't look all right.
No, she does not. I think she's going to be coming off the floor on the next loss of possession.
But before she comes off, she'll hit that shot anyway.
Yeah, I think he's just been so impressive in this game.
She's on 23 points, 8 rebounds, 9 steals. Almost had that 10th there.
Dewar under a lot of pressure. Will draw the foul. Foul is on 21, O'Leary.
So Hickey will come off the court now after that. Hopefully she's okay. Looks like she'll be all right. I think it's just a stinger injury. But if she doesn't come back on, hopefully she will. But she's on 23 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, or 8 rebounds, 9 steals, and an assist.
She's so close.
So regardless, she's totally dominated this game. And like you said, Reese, it's been a team effort. It's not just her. She's the one who's reaping the benefits of everything that her team has done to help her out. But she's shooting 55% from the field, and look, it's just been... it's been all her and all Ireland throughout the game.
Definitely. And it would be a real shame not to get that triple-double on the board, but I don't think the coaching staff are going to really be having that as a focus. I don't think she's really, as much as she might laugh about not hitting that number if she doesn't manage to come back on the floor, I think that she's just going to be happy with her team's performance and be really grateful for what her team's done for her today.
And McGee just...
They almost get another steal. Ireland up by 44 right now, 59-15.
McGee will inbound Dewar. Rush shot a bit there. And O'Dewar brings the ball down for Ireland. Keeley. Keeley for 3. Nothing there. Start.
What a block.
Goodness me.
Yeah, great block there from Ireland. Scotland will get possession back.
Well, it's Maria Keeley causing problems again there. And I mean, again, it's everyone on the team who's doing this, but that's her block there. She's got 2 points in the game, but she's been in the game for almost all of it. 20-plus minutes play, that's most of the entire game. She's just been such a nuisance for Scotland to deal with defensively.
Speaking about defensively and it being a team effort.
Nice look, but can't quite get the finish.
That one doesn't fall. Ireland, have got 5 players with at least 2 steals. You never see those numbers.
Oh. That's excessive. Finally, an Ireland turnover stops them. Just their 10th of the game.
And I mean, if the Ireland coaching staff is going to be picky, they might try to chomp down on those numbers as well. But
I like what Ireland have done so far throughout the tournament. Their first game, 26 turnovers. Their second game, 19, and now they've got 10. That's progress. You can see that progress on the court game by game.
And again, that's all this tournament is about. It's all about progress, and it's all about getting game time for a lot of these players, and finding out the squads for the future, and trying to develop a style of play on both ends of the ball. And I think that that's really important, that you have seen numerical progress and stylistic progress as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. This tournament is a great development opportunity for all players.
Finally, an 8-second violation stops Ireland. I love how the Scotland fans erupt after that. Still behind the team, even though you're down by quite a bit here.
Yeah, Scottish fans are always passionate, that's for sure. Loftus inside. Again, another good look, but can't quite convert there.
Tara Nevin will inbound this one, but you've seen Ireland are using as many players as they want, but they've kept most of that same starting five out on the floor throughout most of the game. They're letting those starters they have for this game take advantage of most of the time here against Scotland today. They still keep hold of it, though. Now near the baseline, they're going to go strong in, trying to go to the hoop in the paint. Good Scotland defense. They finally swarm and force a turnover there.
Loftus with control.
With what I was saying at halftime and from what I wanted to see from a Scottish perspective, I think I've started to see that in this second half. A little bit more energy. It's definitely better energy than what they had in the first half. It's still not quite matching Ireland, but I think that that's just a really, really tall order. But you've seen there's been a couple stops in this second half that have impressed me from a Scottish perspective.
You'll get another one right there, too. Good jump ball forced by Scotland there. It's still going to be Ireland basketball, but this is a lot more aggressive from Scotland defensively. Not just trying to force steals, but playing defense. Everyone's moved as a team a little better inside the paint. Ireland obviously still scoring quite a bit. They're going to win this game. But I do like the improvements I've seen from Scotland. We heard about those non-negotiables at halftime from the Scotland perspective, and I think you're starting to see a little bit more of that get back into their game right now.
Keeley can't quite finish, but it falls to Sherlock, and she puts it up and in.
Again, I don't mind that if I'm Scotland. You forced the first shot out to the baseline on a bad angle, and then you couldn't get the offensive rebound. You gave up the offensive rebound, but that's all right.
Keeley. Coogan. And Egan just can't get the finish there. Scotland come away with it. It's Kerr. She dishes it to McGee, and McGee gets the drop.
Well, it's 61-17.
Coogan.
I like what Scotland. You've got 7 points in this quarter for Scotland already. That's your most of any quarter in the game. That's progress. You're going somewhere now.
And I think that last possession was probably their most positive possession I've seen in this entire game. It starts off with a block that forces the turnover from Ireland, results in 2 points, and that's only that is their first fast break bucket in this game. And again, it's only a positive that you can take.
This ball will stay with Ireland out on the baseline. Scotland make a couple more substitutions now as they go through the entire squad. Pretty much everyone on the team getting minutes here today. Nobody's above 20 minutes on the court for Scotland. Everyone just being cycled through. Most players in double digits in terms of minutes. They've just gone through the entire roster, giving everybody a shot here today.
Yeah, and that was great for them, as previously mentioned, the development opportunities this tournament offers. Steal for Scotland. Amos. Interception from Ireland.
Well, Ireland did well there to respond and to draw that foul. I mean, obviously they gave up the steal in the first place, but they did well to recover, try to get the ball back on the steal, and then hold things up and get the ball back to their best players from there. It's really good from Ireland. They're just following a consistent process. Even when they lose the ball, they're always trying to get it back immediately, and the whole team's hunting it.
There's not a whole lot that they can do to compete with that physicality, though, from Coogan, though.
No, she's been very good inside, like most of the team.
And that brings Ireland up to 48 points in the paint out of their 61. Ridiculous numbers.
Out of their 63, rather.
Nice shot there for Amos inside the paint.
So 63-19, Ireland on top by quite a bit right now.
Foul is on 38 McGee.
So you're going to see this same set from Ireland again. They send every player to a corner of the paint, and then they're going to have some rotation out on the back end here. You're going to see Nevin go to the baseline. There it goes. They're looking for that pass. Can't find it. But again, they got the exact same switch on the opposite end. It's just a really good process they have going.
Coogan
Classic
launches it.
play.
Oh, just too strong there.
Play.
It is a classic play, Reese. But I like how every single possession is like that. One person's cutting, and if it's not working, that's okay, because the other 2 or 3 players are also doing the same on the back end. Always an option available.
And that's why it's a classic play, because it creates options for everybody, and there's alternatives and there's backup plans for if what you actually want to do doesn't end up happening.
Another Scotland steal there. They're starting to do a little more with that here in this third quarter. They've had 4 steals in the quarter, only had 1 in the first half. That's a tough pass to handle inside. They won't get it through. And Ireland are going to walk away with this one. Another Scottish turnover. That's their 35th so far. Obviously, we know what needs to be cleaned up, guys. 35 turnovers, not great. The long pass here for Coogan's available if they've got it. And they do. Coogan bumped inside underneath the basket. They can't finish it. Ireland will foul here on the back end. But still, great looks again. Out of this inbound, they send all 4 players into the front court, and then they have 1 leak out behind, and Scotland just are not following it very well. Scotland did well to recover and try to force that missed shot. But Ireland, again, everything they're trying to do is working right now. This is the best place for them to test plays as we go into this fourth quarter. Test out everything you have in your playbook here to the end of this game.
Turvett Stark. Campbell. Inside to Kirkcott with the finish. Nice play from Scotland.
10 seconds left. You got the final shot waiting for you.
And Keeley just unable to finish there.
Does it still count if it goes in off the bounce?
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I don't think I've ever seen that happen, Reese. But you never know, I guess. Well, 63-21. It's a 42-point lead for Ireland as we head into the final 10 minutes of the game here. Reese, I really like what I've seen there in this third quarter here from Scotland. This most points they've scored throughout the entire game here in the quarter. You've scored 11 points in this quarter. And look, you can see they've made some progress as they came out of that halftime break. Definitely. And, as I said, coming into the third quarter, I just needed to see, their best attempt at trying to match the energy that Ireland was putting out there in that first half, and they definitely stepped it up from what they had in the first half for sure. And we saw a few more of the blocks that we saw in the first half from them, and it's definitely an improvement in terms of the offensive output that they had as well. Obviously, with them scoring the most points as they have throughout the rest of the game. Sure. So small improvements. We weren't expecting them to come out and absolutely throw Ireland to the water or anything like that. But you take what you can get, and again, this is just a big learning opportunity for them, and I think that they could only take positives from that third quarter in particular. Absolutely, and for Ireland's point of view, obviously, this third quarter, you slowed things down, you've taken your time offensively a little bit more. What I really like for Ireland is every single player who's been on the court today has scored points, at least a minimum of 1 basket. Maria Keeley is the lowest scorer. She's got 2 points. She's been on the floor, a ton defensively. She's so important to their defensive setup. But everybody on Ireland is scoring. They're moving the ball around so well. They've had 15 assists so far, and more importantly, they've had the 27 steals, and they're just forcing Scotland into all these bad situations that they're taking full advantage of. I don't think there's a whole lot to be displeased about if you're Ireland. You've got to be happy with everything we've seen today. No, definitely, and
The numbers, apart from the score, obviously, the numbers that really speak volumes is the points from turnovers. Ireland, 32 points from turnovers, a lot of those from the steals that came from Sarah Hickey before she was forced off. But it looks like she's actually...
Triple-double watch. It's happening, guys. Needs 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and she's there. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 9 steals, and just if you're curious, 5 of those 8 rebounds are offensive rebounds. So like you said, Reese, those second-chance points, those are all coming from her, basically.
Definitely. I'm glad she's okay, though. Glad she managed to get herself back on the floor.
Amos with a drive. Too hard off the glass. Hickey, the rebound, but it will...
I think that's a 9th rebound. They might call it a team rebound instead. Let's hope not. That looks like that's a 9th rebound for Sarah Hickey in my mind. Let's see what they give it.
We love driving the triple-double narrative. It's our favorite.
Ireland get the ball back.
And we see a nice set play there. And I think the Ireland have gone deep into the playbook to see what they can conjure up here. Oh, wow.
Campbell with the interception. Oh, and it'll stay. Scotland ball.
Ireland have finally tired of that full-court press. Now it's just a half-court trap.
Expecting more, Atticus, are you?
Well, I got to be honest. There aren't many times you'll see this kind of setup either, where you see the 3 in the back and the 2 up front, but they're pushing up so high. They've moved a little back here, of course. I think they're going to be content to do this for the rest of the game, but Ireland's defensive pressure has just been so dominant today.
And, their main objective, and obviously in the entire game, is keep Scotland out of the paint, and they still achieve that goal. Yep. With this half-court press as well. As we just saw there, they didn't even manage to break inside the 3-point line.
They've only given up 16 points in the paint. Hopefully nobody's injured out of that pile. Jump ball goes to Ireland after that. And they did count that rebound, might I add, for Sarah Hickey. It's 23 points, 9 rebounds, 9 steals, 1 board and 1 steal away. It's going to happen, guys.
We need a steal, and we need her to miss
get an offensive rebound and put one back in.
Yep, get a putback. That's what we need. Do it all in one possession.
The inside gets the finish. Lovely play from her.
Or just score.
Can't go wrong with either, I think.
I think she'll take that as well.
Ireland come away with it again. Egan fouled.
She might have been fouled there, and there might have been better options over to the side. But what I really like about this Ireland offensive setup, you notice how when Egan drove inside, she didn't just keep her eye on the basket and kind of avoid everyone around her looking for something else to happen. She took the ball, went right into the chest of the Scotland defenders, and tried to drive inside. That's exactly what Ireland have done all game long. They've gone right for the jugular throughout this entire game, and that's not stopped for 1 minute. And that's why they're on top.
The men's team did the exact same thing as well.
Exactly.
That's why they were so successful. They were, just like you said, going for the jugular, trying to drive, and their main focus was drawing contact and being aggressive rather than trying to potentially get the best shooting look. And a lot of times that's what's going to work is the physicality and the aggression.
Well, you've got a 45-point lead, so I think it's fair to say it's worked incredibly well. Now it's 46. There you go.
Yeah, probably fair to say.
So from Scotland's point of view, you're being out-rebounded 51-37. That's closer than the gap, though, that we saw through the first and second quarters. So keep trying to come back. They're doing better, and they're getting more, I think, that they like. Oh, another steal there.
Yeah, Ireland's really impressive defensively. Keeley can't convert that time.
There's a 10th steal. We're 1 rebound away. Miss it. You got to miss it and get the offensive rebound. Oh, and she almost has it. Oh, it doesn't quite get it, though. Well, she's got the 10 steals, guys. We're 1 away.
That is ridiculous. 10 steals on 1 player. Just ridiculous numbers.
Dagger launches it. Just short.
So we'll see what they do here, but I like that last play from Mariah Keeley driving inside, taking advantage of all the space open to her, freezing the defender with the pump fake, and then she did something similar there, tried to find the dump off on the way inside. Didn't work for Sarah Hickey, but again, Ireland running lots of different plays, running good plays every time.
They've got a deep playbook, it seems.
So Ireland substitutions here. Still a 67-21 lead. Under 8 minutes left to go in this game. Scotland looking for any momentum they can get back before they head home this evening.
McGee inside. Doesn't go. Hassle for the ball.
Selfishly, it's okay that Scotland have another possession here because that gives Sarah Hickey another chance to get a rebound.
Loftus. Miscommunication there on the pass. Ireland get the ball back.
40th turnover for Scotland. And the 42 turnovers in the first game against England were bad, but the 40 turnovers here, it's been a little uglier. You got a lot to work on as you go into the future. You can see that from the 40 turnovers here today.
A steal from Amos.
So if she gets the ball stolen from her, does that result in her losing a steal?
No, come on. Well, that would be dangerous.
Just double checking.
Loftus. Amos fires. Overshoots it there. And Tolan keeps the ball in play. Keeley now for Ireland. And Tolan fires it. It doesn't go.
So Scotland do well offensively in that possession, defensively rather. They're trying to force Ireland more and more out of the paint. You can see what they're trying to do there. Take what you can out of that.
Amos is fouled. She will go to the line for 3 shots. I think the foul was on Keeley.
And you'll get 2 more chances here at the free throw line for Scotland. But hey, good positives from that free throw line. You're 5 of 8 from the line. That's pretty good.
They're not 3 chances.
Well, you got 3 chances rather, yeah. So you're 5 of 8 from the free throw line. You've got 3 more chances. Take what you can from that. That's a good start. And for Scotland, they've got 13 points in their starting 5, and they've got 8 points off the bench. So spreading it around relatively well. Sophia Amos, part of that starting 5, who's taking the free throws now. 2 more to come for her. Amos, part of that Caledonia Pride team as well. Hasn't played a whole lot this season, just a few games. She's played 7.5 minutes in the games that she's played, though. I think it's about a point in every game that she plays. She's shooting about 50% from the free throw line in the WBBL this season, although it is only 2 of 4, so.
Safe to say that's a small sample size.
That Caledonia Pride program is it's great for female development in Scotland. McGee. Dagger just short there. It's a rebound for Tolan. She gets Keeley. O'Leary. Tolan. Devoy. And Tolan knocks down the 3.
Great shot there, 70-21. It's now a 49-point lead. Just over 6 minutes left to go in this game. Scotland call a timeout here, looking to do what they can here in this break. Reese, I mean, tough. Obviously, this is a tough game all around for Scotland. But I think as you go into these bottom 6 minutes, what will you look to do? Obviously, you want to build momentum, but how will they try to do that in these last few minutes?
That's a tough question.
Put you on the spot.
I mean, I don't know. You haven't managed to score in this fourth quarter, that's incorrect. But I don't know. You just need to try to get some rebound numbers going up. You just need to see if you can just try to focus on the fundamentals, get a couple more points on the board, couple more rebounds on the board, and at this point, as much as Ireland is trying to draw out some plays from the playbook, I think this is an opportunity for Scotland to try to do the same thing as well. See what works, see what doesn't. Try some plays on the inbound. Obviously, if it doesn't work, then you're not going to walk out of here with a victory today anyway. So I think as much as it's an opportunity, like I just said, for Ireland to try some things out, it's the same for Scotland. You know, as much as they need to focus on the fundamentals, as I've been saying all game, they've brought the energy up a little bit. I think in this fourth quarter, I think they've lost a little bit of the energy that they had in the third quarter, probably due to fatigue. You know, this is their final game of the 3 in the fourth quarter, so this is the last couple minutes that they're going to be playing. So, you know, as much as I would like to see them leave it all out on the floor, and I'm sure they are. They're probably really tired. So, you know, focus on the fundamentals, see what you can draw out from the playbook in these last couple minutes.
And Amos with control for Scotland. Oh, and it's again stolen by Ireland. Keeley comes away with it. Keeley goes all the way. And can't convert. Oh.
Another jump ball there. It's still going to be Ireland ball. It's again, they're forcing just another turnover out of that. Whoa, Reese is pointing out something to me. Sarah Hickey got her 10th rebound. When did you get that?
I'm not sure, but the stats are telling me the triple-double is home for Sarah Hickey. And what an impressive one as well.
Obviously, look, that's going to be over and back for Ireland, so turnover there. You know, stats are not everything in these tournaments, of course. This is not about just winning the tournament. It's about developing your team. I got to be honest, though, if you're Ireland, you're going to like seeing 28 points for Sarah Hickey, 10 rebounds, 10 steals, a block and an assist just for fun, and shooting 52% from 2, 10 of 19 on the day. That's impressive. She's the captain out there for a reason.
Yeah, nice. Just about 30-point triple-double with steals.
And he draws the foul.
Don't see that very often.
No. We got 2 more free throws here for Scotland. Let's put them at 13 trips to the line today. It's about what they've done consistently throughout the few games they've had. Through their 3 games, had 19 free throws in the first, and then they've had 15 in their last one, and they'll have 13 here as well. So, again, you're getting to the line rather consistently. You'd like to get to the line a little more, but I like that here. You try to get inside. You try to make Ireland pay for that physical presence. As you go ahead into the future, as you go ahead into the future here after these, you want to try to play aggressive teams, play into aggressive teams, and play into them and draw more fouls and get to the free throw line more. That's what Scotland will need to do to compete in games like this in the future against Ireland.
And if that is the case, I think they potentially need to put a little bit more time into free throw shooting as well. It's not terrible. 5 for 11 from the line today, so it's not too bad. It's actually quite decent numbers actually from the line. But yeah, if that's going to be the focus, then you just potentially need to practice the shooting. You know, from the field, 16% from the field today, 8 for 49.
Well, I love that change call. I've never seen a ball get trapped between somebody's legs like that, and then they bunny hop around with it, and they call it a jump ball. So they actually call a foul instead on Scotland because of that. So this will be Ireland basketball.
That's actually very interesting. I've never seen that myself either. It's almost like in soccer or football or whatever you want to call it, when you stick a shirt or the ball
football.
up your shirt or something.
Definitely football.
Definitely football, as I'm being told.
Well, 2 free throws again here for Lucy Devoy. 3 of 10 shooting on the day today, but she's averaged 9 points over the past couple games, on 6 now. And again, if you're Ireland, this is one place where you want to improve. 6 of 14 free throw shooting today, not the best. You'll be hoping for more of that in the future, some better free throw shooting from the line. They went 8 for 25 in their first game, along with 13 of 21 in the game after. So there's still some room to improve there. Again, it's a youth tournament. We've mentioned this over and over. Youth tournament, that free throw shooting will improve as Devoy knocks down the first. So good start there, and you want to see more of that improve as you head to these summer competitions for the women's squad.
Second chance rebound.
Well, that's a good way to do it. Now it's a 50-point Ireland lead, 73-23.
O'Leary nails it, yeah. Yeah. And now Niamh Mitchell has the ball for Scotland. Lucy Rafferty doesn't quite go. Great rebound for O'Leary.
And the Scotland bench loved seeing that one. And that's really the epitome of what I was asking for at the start of the second half. A little bit more effort. They've matched it. And a nice putback offensive rebound. Potential for a three-point play.
Yeah, great play there from Leah Turvitt-Stark.
Well, that's Turvitt-Stark's 7th rebound, plus her first 2 points of the game after that. And again, we've talked about it a lot, but when you're going against a team that's this physical like Ireland, and you've got that disadvantage when you're Scotland, and against this team that's so aggressive, you just need to play into their hands and try to go right back at the other team and force things like these free throws to come out. Didn't work there. Only got the 2 instead of the 3-point play. But again, that's a good play from Scotland. You'll like more of that. I think their coaches will like that. And then a foot on the line.
Yeah.
Neve Tolan's confused about that.
Scotland ball. Cramp. To Turvitt Stark. Back to Cramp. Oh, nice pass from Dewar to Cramp, but they're swarmed by an Irish deep defense. And now Devoy to Egan. 3 is just short there. It'll be Scotland ball. It's Ireland forced a turnover.
Still, impressive triple-double from Sarah Hickey, of course, leading the way for Ireland today. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 10 steals. Throughout the teams, everybody's been rebounding and stealing the ball very well. 32 steals overall for Ireland. And they're going to count this one as well. Yep, that's going to be number 33 as well, forcing another Scotland turnover, their 42nd. And Ireland just, again, doing really well with this pressure throughout the entire game. It's never stopped. Boy, stuck in the backboard here. You got to make something happen inside. Tolan's going to have to throw it out to Hickey, who drives and dumps it in. And Ireland can't go up in time. That's going to be taken away. And then a foul called on the Irish there. Obviously, if you're Scotland, what you like about those plays are that you're not letting Ireland take a shot. Ireland are trying to work for that perfect shot, and you're not giving them any open looks for it throughout the entire shot clock. That's really important. That shows a lot of discipline and a lot of grit and commitment to what you're doing defensively. That's really good.
Definitely. I mean, all you can ask for from a Scottish perspective is just try to make it as hard as possible for Ireland. It was far too easy in the first 2 quarters. For Ireland, they were just doing what they wanted on both ends of the ball, and I truly mean that when we talk about the steal numbers on the defensive end of the ball as well,
yep.
and when you look at the numbers of the points in the paint in the first half. So it was far too easy for them in the first half, and all you can ask for from a Scottish perspective is just try to make it as hard as possible.
And they've done that here. Ireland have only scored 10 points in the 4th quarter, and Scotland have scored 6, so you've kept it close. This has been a much more competitive quarter.
Definitely.
Mitchell goes 2 from 2 from the line, and now the boy has control for Ireland. So gets to O'Leary. O'Leary forces it. Just overshoots it there, but Devoy grabs the offensive rebound and puts it in.
Well, that's another offensive rebound for Ireland. They're 25th, and their 54th point in the paint as well. Complete dominance on the interior.
And Dewar just launched it there, just off the mark. And now Devoy for the layup. Gets it.
That's a bad 4-point play there for Ireland, effectively making Scotland miss that shot and then going to the opposite end and scoring quickly. Reese and I exchanged some odd looks after that last shot from Scotland. You got 18 seconds left in the shot clock and you force up that one-handed rifle? No. And then, of course, you give away the long pass that Ireland had all game and they score from there. That's a problem. So I think if you're Scotland, this is why the timeout was called there, not just the momentum swing, but that's not good enough. You can't have that kind of bad shot and then nobody's back on defense because of where that shot came from. You have to find a better set for your entire team and balance it out offensively and defensively. It hasn't happened enough throughout the game, and obviously you've seen why there. But again, this has been a more competitive 4th quarter. I think Ireland, happy with the victory. You're up by 50 right now, 3 minutes, 14 seconds left to go, and everyone on Ireland's contributed today. It's just been a great performance all around.
Definitely, and I think, as much as Sarah Hickey's the one that's on the scoreboard with 28 points and nobody else on the Ireland team with actually Devoy actually just breaking to 11 points.
Yep.
Nobody else really close to those numbers. But, I don't think any of the players or the coaching staff from an Ireland perspective are going to be, upset for any reason at that. No. They all know, and I think especially Sarah Hickey knows just how much of a team performance it's been from her perspective, and it's really been the movement on the ball and off the ball, the hot potato ball, as I said before. that Scotland just haven't been able to keep up with. That's why, you know, she's had the opportunities she's had, as well as, you know, 57% shooting from the field. She's done her part in terms of execution as well. So, yeah, just all around, just a really, really nice team performance.
And 84 shots that Ireland have taken in this game, just 52 for Scotland. That's an incredible gap. And they force another turnover here. 42 turnovers now for Scotland. That now ties them for their first game against England. 42 turnovers there as well. So you might go on top of that here in this game. Ireland still keep hold of it there. Just can't be forced off. Good pressure from Scotland, but Ireland still on top of things again. As you go into the future, Reese, I know for both you guys, this has been a really dominant performance from Ireland today. Yeah. And I think as we look ahead into the future, Ireland will have a ton of confidence going into the summer and future competitions, knowing they can really hang with these teams, because England and Wales, they were right in those games. They had a chance to beat those, and they didn't have Sarah Hickey playing in the Wales game, and that might have been the difference there. So I think this is a great tournament for this Irish women's seed.
Stark launches it, just overshoots it there.
Definitely, though. You know, I think especially with this being, you know, their last impression in this tournament, this is the way that they're going to walk off the court for the final time in this competition. You know, there's so many positives to take from an Irish perspective on the tournament as a whole.
Great defense from Scotland there. And how it start, can't get the drop. She grabs the defensive rebound and draws the foul. Sorry guys, I interrupted you there. What were you saying?
No problem. It's a really, really positive experience for both teams. But in terms of true positives that you can take, Ireland have just got so many to walk away with here. And, you know, Scotland, in terms of, you know, there were quite a few negatives today in this performance, but there's obviously still some massive positives that you can take, a huge learning experience for them going forward. Yeah,
definitely. As I say, it's a great opportunity for these teams to even take to the court, especially over the last 2 years with everything that's been going on.
Turbot Star can't hit either of them. There's still a 50-point lead, 2:10 left in the game for Ireland.
Foul violation for Ireland.
Nice little skip there.
I think Scotland have had quite a few more of those stops in this third and fourth quarter here. I think that's another positive they can take.
If you just take the second half, the score is 30-17, Ireland on top of Scotland. 30-17 is, I think, obviously you're losing, but that's an acceptable and respectable scoreline. This, obviously, with 50 points, is really just generated by how bad that first quarter was. You just couldn't respond from there because, you know, Scotland, that's just a tough start to respond from. And once they went into the locker room, it's been a lot better since then. Again, 17 points, you've held Ireland to 30. That's really, really good. Take more positives from that than negatives and anything else. That's an impressive turnaround in the second half from this team.
Definitely. I think that, you know, reflects what the coaching staff said in the interview at halftime.
It's a drop. Sorry.
No problem. I think that just reflects what the comments that the coaching staff made at halftime in your interview with them. That it's some things simply weren't good enough, and I think that they made those changes in terms of the energy that they were putting out on the floor, and I think that's shown in the scoreline, as you just said.
Well, definitely so, and Scotland can't find the way in again, but Lucy Devoy now on 13 points after that last basket. She's now in double digits for the first time so far in this tournament. She's the only double-digit scorer along with Sarah Hickey on the Ireland squad. So that's impressive. You score 79 points. You've only got 2 players in double digits. Obviously 28 of those from Sarah Hickey, of course, but they've spread the points around well. Everyone else 4, 6, 5 points, 8 points. They're spreading everything around the entire team. That is a great sign for the future of Irish basketball.
Yeah, that's really great to see.
Driving, trying to find some space, can't find anything, and then a shot from the free throw line drops in for Niamh O'Leary. Now she's on 7 points, then a substitution here for Scotland heading into this last minute of the game, last minute of the tournament for both these sides. Scotland still with 1 game to come. The Scotland men playing against the England men in the game after this. That game's set to tip off around 1, probably more like 1:10 after the delay after this game. And then Ireland, both their men's and women's squads are done. One win for both of them, one for the women, one for the men, both over Scotland. Losses to the other 2 games. But a good tournament for Ireland all around. Impressive and strong finishes to this tournament for both teams. Still going to be Ireland basketball. 6 seconds on the shot clock, 25 left in the game clock. So throw up one more shot, give Scotland likely one more chance, and that will be just about it for the game. It's a 54-point Ireland lead right now. Poland's got 3 to shoot.
Devoy launches it. Can't get the drop. They get the offensive rebound. Egan on the...
Well, they'll call the steal back because the shot clock didn't start, so Ireland will get another chance after that one.
It looked to me like it was...
No, it didn't move.
Was it? Did it not? Okay,
No, it
okay.
didn't.
Okay.
So there's 11 seconds on the shot clock, 17 on the game clock, 6-second difference. So Ireland can take one shot and Scotland can maybe throw up one more heave, and that'll be just about the end of the game here.
Ireland launch the 3 and they knock it down. What an explosive offensive end to this game for them. Scotland get last possession, and Loftus gets the layup. Ireland launch it.
Oh my goodness me.
Wasn't that far off, and that's how this game will end. 84-29. Scotland lose to Ireland here in Cardiff, Wales, and Archers Arena. Guys, I know Ireland just hit a 3 at the end. They only hit 3 threes all game. 43% shooting from 2. Ireland forced 24 steals and 44 Scotland turnovers. They were just dominant from start to finish today.
Yeah,
Definitely, and I think Ireland, both teams obviously, like we've said multiple times, to take loads of positives from today's performance.
yeah, and you know, it'll be a learning experience for Scotland, but you know, all in all, a fantastic performance from Ireland here in this game.
Not much went wrong from Ireland in this game, and their men's and women's sides both with strong finishes. Both teams applauded off the floor at the end of the Under-18 Four Nations 2022 tournament for both of these sides. Remember, we still have more games to come today, 3 more left to go. England and Scotland, the men's squads will play against each other. That game's set to tip off at about 1:05. We'll have our stream live 10 minutes beforehand, take you through the starting lineups and national anthems for both sides as well. But just a really impressive performance here today from Ireland. Of course, we've talked about it all game. Not much else to it. It's just been so dominant from them all around. Only 43 rebounds for Scotland, 67 for Ireland. They just dominated in every aspect. And before we go off the air for this game today, we're going to have an interview with an Ireland player. I'm hoping we get Sarah Hickey. We'll see who we get. It's hard to say no to anybody, though. Everyone on that team was great. We are going to get Sarah Hickey. So give us a few seconds. We'll go set up these interviews and be back in just a moment. We're going to interview Sarah Hickey before the end of this game today and before the end of our stream.
Thank you for tuning in.
So we're here live in our interview studio here with the captain for today, Sarah Hickey, post-game. Sarah, you just told me it's your birthday 2 days ago, right? You just turned 18.
Yeah.
What a way to cap it off with your tournament performances here. Obviously, so a good second game from you yesterday, but more importantly, a great game here today. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 10 steals as well. You don't get that very often. But what led to this great performance from you and your squad?
Just all our preparation over the last month, and two hard games yesterday, 2 losses.
Yep.
Took them to heart and just wanted to get the win today. So.
Now, I wonder about that because the men's team mentioned for Ireland that you guys, the men's team couldn't sleep last night because of those 2 losses. They were ready for the game today. You guys think it was similar for you as well?
Obviously, we came here, we wanted to win. We did, first day didn't end up how we wanted it to. So it was good to get the win today.
Now, I know stats aren't everything, but a triple-double with steals included is pretty good, I'd say. Were you pleased with your performance today?
There's always, you can always improve on everything, so
yeah. Awesome.
On to the next game.
Fair enough. Well, Sarah, thanks for your time. Congratulations on the tournament.
Thank you.
We gotta sing happy birthday, right? Can we sing happy birthday to her before you guys go? Yeah. Okay, I've got 2 microphones. One here. Two birthdays. Who's the second? So Lucy Coogan and Sarah Hickey, 2 birthdays. Both of you guys have turned 18, correct? All right, everybody, I want you to sing happy birthday. Ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah Lucy. Happy birthday to you.
Well done. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sarah. Have a great trip back to Ireland, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Well, thank you for joining us here today, everybody. Awesome scenes at the end of this tournament for the Irish women's side. Just a dominant performance and victory all around. Thank you for joining us here. Ireland 84, Scotland 29. Join us live for the Scotland and England men's games to come in about 20 minutes' time. Thanks, all.